Hey YouTube, this is Cassandra with Dementia Let's Talk, where we come together as regular people to talk about dementia and other memory-related diseases. In this video, I want to talk about some of the misconceptions that I had regarding memory-related or mental illnesses. And when I say misconceptions, I'm speaking of I was totally clueless about these illnesses. All I had was based on what I had seen on television, which is crazy. But yeah, I had no type of knowledge about dementia, schizophrenia, Alzheimer's. I had no knowledge about any of these diseases, literally until I was maybe 50 years old, 51. I had no elderly people in my family. You know, I had one of those families where everybody kind of grew up together. My mom was a young mother. My grandmother wasn't that old. She had 10 kids, but most of my uncles were maybe 20 years old when I was growing up. So it's like we all kind of grew up together. Some of my uncles and my aunt were like in high school when I was a little kid. So we kind of all grew up together. So there was no elderly people around us. On my father's side, I really wasn't, his mom had already passed. And my grandfather wasn't that old. So still, again, no elderly people around me. My grandfather on my father's side lived in Washington State. So I rarely even saw him as he did get old. So literally the first contact I had with elderly people was when I got this job in 2016, where I was a mobile tech for a company that brought clinics to nursing homes. So we brought the clinics to the nursing homes, like the eye doctor and the podiatrist and the hearing doctor. So I worked with the eye doctor. So my job was to bring all of the equipment to the nursing home, set up the clinic in a room that they chose for us, get everything ready, start the patients' workups with their visual test, administering eye drops, showing them the eyeglasses, and basically getting them ready for when the doctor arrived. So that was my start of my education with elderly people. At that point, I was working with elderly people on a daily basis, which, like I said, I had never even been in a nursing home in my life before that. So in the process of working in the different nursing homes, there came times where we had to set up the clinic inside a locked unit, a memory unit. And my first impression of the locked unit, when they said, okay, this is going to be a locked unit today, the patients are locked inside, they live inside this unit, my first thing that came to my mind was movies, like the psych ward in a movie. And I was literally terrified, thinking that it was going to be like the movies where these people were walking around talking to themselves and could potentially do something to me. Needless to say, of course, there were some people that were walking around talking to themselves, but it wasn't the majority. The majority of people were just in there because they had memory issues, and they were basically in there not because they were a threat to anyone but themselves. You know, they couldn't live at home anymore. You know, they would wander off from their home and get lost, or they would be in the kitchen trying to cook dinner and forget how to use a microwave or a stove and maybe hurt themselves. So that was the reason that they were in there. But my first impression, or my first thought, was, oh my God, I'm not going in there. I'm scared. You know, I'm thinking it's some kind of crazy thing that I would see on TV. So I say this to say, if I had that thought, and I'm 50 something years old, I'm sure there's many people who has the same impression or misconception about locked units in hospitals or nursing homes, because they have no experience with it. I mean, if you have no experience with something, you've not been around any elderly people, you wouldn't know. All you know is what you may have been told or what you may have seen on TV. And it's so sad that I was at that age so clueless about people and about that part of life that is a true part of life for many people, and maybe a part of life for me. How do I know what my future is going to hold? I pray that it doesn't. I pray that I grow old and have my memory and I'm able to take care of myself, you know, well into 90s or whatever. But that's not always the case. But people don't think about it because they don't have any, it's not the part of their life. So they don't think about it. They just go on with their lives, and they don't even know that there's a whole nother section of people in their community that they know nothing about. So I don't want to ramble on, but this was my thought. So I thought, let me put this out here, because I know that if I felt this way, or if I had this misconception, there's somebody else who probably had the same misconceptions. That's all I wanted to talk about on this video today. Stay tuned for more videos like this, where, you know, I talk about my experiences with memory diseases like dementia, schizophrenia, Alzheimer's, and maybe we can have a dialogue together and help each other get through these things. So I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.